Again there, friends and fans, Raptor here, and welcome to our first look at a new outdoor driving, possibly survival simulator known as Expeditions, a MudRunner game. Yeah, big fan on the channel here of games like Spin Tires, which eventually led into MudRunner, and now the more current favorite, SnowRunner. But Expeditions, a MudRunner game, is coming out on March 5th, 2024. Does it have what it takes to be even better than SnowRunner? Well, I guess we'll see. I certainly love the almost damn near fight for survival on the roads of SnowRunner when you're clinging to the side of a cliff and have some overweight cargo and some uneven roadway to pass on. And man, it's a lot of fun with multiplayer. So we'll check out Expeditions, a MudRunner game, before its release, with co-op and multiplayer coming sometime soon. Luckily, the developers will be supporting DLC and mods, and eventually when co-op comes around, all that will be playable there too. So let's check it out and see what it's all about. Let's go. We are welcome to our main base, and welcome to Expeditions, a MudRunner game. Well, here's our first look at a big old desert. That's exactly where I thought we would be going next in this game. I thought it would be another SnowRunner game, but maybe called Rock Runner or something like that. But no, we're now in Expeditions. Before jumping into your first expedition, let's learn the basics of driving. Right trigger to start the engine, A to disengage the handbrake, right trigger and left stick in order to look around. Listen to that engine too, baby. Let her roar. Let's go into first person here, where we can indeed look around the vehicle. Yeah, and hear that engine too. Beautiful. Yeah, so you can certainly play this in first person the whole time. You can also use a steering wheel or an Xbox controller like me, probably PlayStation as well, or mouse and keyboard. The advantages, of course, for a controller or a steering wheel is, of course, you can feather the throttle and not go all in with maximum throttle, which will certainly help when trying to stay on that road and use lower gears and whatnot. But yeah, all the vehicles are certainly fully modeled interior and exterior, which really looks nice, and they sound good too. All right, let's get rolling. So yeah, the environment looks absolutely beautiful, and from what I've seen so far, we can go to what I think is Little Colorado, where we are now, with our HQ over there, that large orange building. We can also go to Arizona and then the Carpathians as well. So there's a few different locations to travel to that are a little bit more drier and extreme than the forest in which we're used to seeing before. Keep following the quest markers to progress. Absolutely. So obviously, with there being a lot less trees here in this environment, there's a lot of new things in this game. We have drones, for example, the ability to lower our tire pressure. We also have the ability to use binoculars and cameras. And this is more about expeditions and planning routes and finding things like rare minerals out in the wilderness and trying to get materials to those areas in order to explore and test, like being a paleontologist, for example, looking for dinosaur bones or something like that. Here's our garage. This is where we'll be upgrading or repairing things, refueling, and doing a few more things like deploying and purchasing vehicles. And let's go ahead and kick her into, there we go, all-wheel drive here, trying to get over a little rock there. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Nice. Pretty strong vehicle, actually. And because this is more based on expeditions, we're dealing with smaller vehicles, too, which I actually kind of like. Instead of building large infrastructure and large bridges and other things of that nature, we're now basically planning the routes out. We can use route identifiers and, again, a sonar to check for the depth of water and whatnot, which we're about to go through right now. We're going to engage all-wheel drive at a higher fuel consumption cost, but we're going to get through this swamp up here. So right bumper, and then we're going to go in probably into low if we want to, or of course we can turn on and off all-wheel or differential lock too. So that'll be quite cool to be able to utilize, yeah. Now this truck can get through a lot. Look at that. We're just throwing it right around. Just trying to see exactly how she responds to certain things like rocks. And I've got to say the environment is just as good, if not better, than SnowRunner because it's new. We've never been here before, and it's official, so a lot of handcrafting work seems to be put in here, at least. And also, the vehicle seems on par with SnowRunner, which has some pretty good vehicles too. Now, hopefully we don't have many issues with them. We'll see how things like perhaps small trailers operate if and when we get them in the future. But there you go. All right, we're going to engage differential lock now in order to get through some harder sections and then throw it into low gear. So now we've got differential. There we go. Differential, low, all-wheel drive on. Huge fuel consumption. Over the lower left corner, we're consuming about 2 gallons per minute there. You can also change that to metric. I was goofing around with a few things. For example, the driver's hands on the steering wheel, you can actually turn those off if you prefer to drive with the steering wheel, so that way you don't have to see that. So a lot of good options to customize your game and to make it a little better to your liking, whatever you choose to do. All right, we're here, and here is a trading post, which we'll be gathering some new stuff from. So we're going to enter exchange mode, and on the left of is your vehicle's inventory. On the right is the trade area, where we're going to be picking up what is a memory card. Someone was out here taking photographs, probably doing some prospecting of certain things, maybe, again, rare minerals, maybe oil, who knows. That's the way I'm thinking of it anyway. We're going to put that in our inventory, and you can see we're driving the TUZ 16 Action. And we're going to take that from this little, I guess, camp or resource zone. So we're going to pop that into our truck and be done with this. So it's such a small thing you don't even see it in the back, but I guess they're just getting us used to a larger vehicle. Now, I like using the third-person mode here a lot more. I think it's pretty efficient to be able to do that. Obviously, you can see the road around you. You can see if your tires are actually touching the ground, or if you're about to flip over and the load maybe has come loose, whatever it may be. So let's go ahead and back her up and head on back to base camp, brother. You can also see the little gas tanks there on the side, although I'm not sure if we can use them. I'm pretty sure. And we also have what looks to be a spare tire there. Adjusting the pressure depending on the type of terrain. Reducing it will significantly improve traction, but at the cost of higher fuel consumption. So we're going to go ahead and lower our tire pressure. You can actually see the wheels. Doesn't look like the... almost looks like our suspension is lowering rather than the pressure, but let's go with low pressure and see how she handles everything at, go into low with diff lock and all-wheel drive on and see how she does. Now we're consuming about 2.0 gallons of fuel. It's about the same as it was. Not too much more, but maybe the step up from that will do a little better. Let's go from low pressure to reduced and see how that works. Kind of about the same. Somewhere between 1.8 and 2.0 still. Very nice. Now we have other Now the nice thing about this game, focusing a little bit more on expeditions, and something that I think was something I easily forget all the time in SnowRunner, is that we all want the big O, 6x6 vehicles, all-wheel drive, maybe 8x8s, and tons of horsepower. But we always lose out on certain vehicles like old Chevys and Fords and just the kind of vehicles that people would just buy for off-roading that are actually capable of doing a lot of these things, and kind of connects you a little bit more to the game because you may have owned some of those vehicles. Looks like we're going to go long distances, so we better fuel up. So indeed, we're going to grab that fuel. And there's the fuel that's on the side of our truck. So we're going to go ahead and grab that and refuel. Looks like we got about 11 gallons remaining. And of course, we did that without shutting down the engine. Like a true patriot, brother. Hell yeah. Let's go ahead and continue across. Now, you have to monitor that gauge over on the left to make sure you got your tire pressure up, so make sure you always pay attention to that fuel gauge on the left. If your vehicle is damaged, use spare parts to repair. All right, we're going to do that now, too. I think I did see that, yeah. So we can go ahead and use that to repair. It looks like we can't repair tires or the engine. No, we can. Let's repair the gearbox. Can we repair the tires? Is that a specialty item? Oh, it probably requires a wheel to repair. Let's go ahead and go with the suspension and the fuel tank there. So, of course, we got our suspension, fuel tank, engine, gearbox, and the wheels. But the wheels are kind of their own thing, I think. I like how we're trying to refuel them. That's the refueling noise from SnowRunner. Anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and increase our tire pressure back to normal. Cool. And we'll turn off our all-wheel drive and differential lock. So yeah, you can see it certainly makes a difference here. Our vehicle not even capable of moving at all. If we pop on all-wheel drive, now we're a little bit more capable, and you can experiment around with all sorts of different terrain. There's a lot of rocks here, a lot of dry surfaces, and of course still mud and whatnot. Not any more snow, which is a shame, but still we've kind of, returned to our good old habitat of exploring new terrains, which I like. What does that say up there? Stuff for expeditions. How lovely. All right, let's go ahead and throw her into all-wheel, or rather automatic drive, and pull into that spot there. Stage complete, mission complete, all good. So let's go ahead and deliver our memory card. Hell yeah, brother, yeah, yeah. So I think this is set out to be small missions for now for the tutorial, but eventually we'll get into a large open area, which we can explore ourselves. But $3,000 just for playing the tutorial, not bad. Only took us about 6 minutes. Distance, we went about 500 yards, used about 6 gallons of fuel, took no damage, and got some money for taking our first trip. So let's go back to headquarters. Love the loading screen. I think that is a beautiful loading screen, too, and I hope to see a lot more of that. All right, let's select a drop-off region like Little Colorado. Perfect place to hone our skills. Cool. So there you go. Little Colorado, Arizona, and Carpathians, and then also mods regions. And, of course, if you know anything about SnowRunner or MudRunner from before, they're more than likely going to be adding lots of new regions. And we might see snow return again in the future, which would be totally fine with me. All right, let's jump into some new expeditions then. They're the main missions, progress through the game, and earn various rewards by completing them. Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to go on our first expedition then. Our first assignment is to go through the mountains and install a radio module to improve signal quality at the base. Be careful, the road is not easy. I like this because it feels like we're doing something in the Arctic as well, something that would take place in that time as well. But anyway, we're required to bring a jack screw and a vehicle with a sideboard, so I guess we better make sure we got that when we go to our garage. So here we are. We got to deploy with vehicles beforehand. So let's go ahead and grab a couple vehicles here. This is a list of your vehicles. Different vehicles are better suited for different types of terrain. Absolutely. So here are some vehicles that are, I'm pretty sure I remember from SnowRunner and perhaps MudRunner before making their triumphant return. I think we're going to grab as many of these as we can and try to test them out if we have the time. But we're going to bring something a little smaller like the Coda Canyon here. And of course we can customize things and add devices to it too. So we can add all sorts of different fenders, a lot of cool cosmetics that don't necessarily make a difference to performance, but certainly look really nice. Although there are some things that matter. Of course, upgrades for the vehicle. So some of the things return, like upgrading the engine and, though lower fuel consumption. We have gearboxes, suspension, tires that we can all modify for off-road, mud, and all-terrain, and maybe even some highway tires depending on the vehicle. And then also winches return with things like automated winches or extendo winches, high-power winches, heavy advance winches, that kind of thing. Might be dependent on the vehicle. Have yet to see a few more of those things. And then also snorkels, so we can go pretty much underwater. We become like almost like a submarine. We can take on deeper puddles, that kind of thing. And, we can do like rock crawler kits and lift kits. Of course, a little more dangerous because we'll be a little higher up, so higher chance to flip over. But, even the ability to add things to the roof, which is cool, like the ability to put down a metal detector, which I'm not actually sure if that works as a device that can scan, which it does actually, yeah. That allows to scan surrounding area for zones, useful resources. Cool. So that'll be used for some missions. Of course, we can paint the vehicle too if we want to. I like the standard paint job they gave us. But I think there might be a few other paint jobs included that are kind of like, yeah, there we go. They're not necessarily paint jobs, but more like vehicle-specific decals, which are a little more complex. Pretty cool, actually. And then, of course, the ability to do things. Oh, that's me! Well, it's a T-Rex, but yeah. They didn't get permission to use my likeness, so that could be a lawsuit. Anyway, beautiful things like the Carpathians. Oh, boy, a bear. Oh, boy. Yep, all right, another game with a bear in it. I can't escape. Wow, max water level, becoming a submarine there. Lots of memes in this game for a lot of people who play it. Some of these you may recognize these or certainly be familiar with those. Doesn't look like anything to put inside the vehicle yet, although it shows fuzzy dice, but that's what you'd imagine. So that's pretty much all the things we can do, including bringing additional resources for the vehicle too. But we'll go in stock and just see how the stock vehicles do before we upgrade. I think that's a good way to appreciate the upgrades by bringing the stock vehicle first and then being like, wow, that was rough. And then going in and upgrading the vehicle and being like, okay, the engine upgrades and the vehicle tire upgrades for the vehicle are much better, that kind of thing. Okay, so we're bringing a scout vehicle. We're bringing our truck too. We'll probably bring this because we did before. We can load cargo. So as they mentioned, we're required to bring a jack screw, and we're also required to bring a sideboard, which this vehicle is equipped with, although it doesn't necessarily say it, I guess. At least in this menu, so we'll go with that. Of course, we can buy more things for the truck. You did see some of those anchors there. I don't know if we'll get a chance to use it, but we'll try those. The things we have are the anchors. We have a rangefinder, light beacons, which are used to mark the route, and something we can come back to later and see on the map. Camcorder, professional filming equipment. Maybe we can catch Bigfoot there, as well as the camera trap. We have fuel and spare parts, spare wheels, hydro monitoring systems. We have a radio station and portable meteor station, and also a portable rig too, so that way we could do some drilling. We'll grab maybe a little anchor there, and that'll be fine. These all do cost, so it does remind me a bit of buying trailers for SnowRunner, although in a different way. It reminds me of going to the trailer store in a way. Okay, I think this is good enough for us for now. So let's go with what we got and see if we can deploy. And indeed we can. So if we complete this, we'll get 2,000 bucks and we'll unlock some more rewards, including another very interesting thing, which is, and I don't know if they'll show this to us. Let's not abandon it, but we'll go in. There we go. Team members. This is what I wanted to show off. Now, this is fascinating to me. You can actually hire employees for things like that. So this is a list of specialists that are available to you. You can hire them to make the expedition easier or get more benefits from it. So they'll take a little bit of a pay cut, but this essentially is like buying intel or whatnot from like Payday 3 or Payday 2, where, of course, you can get, you cost a little bit of money. You do have to unlock these folks and kind of get them to be in the area by completing some of the jobs, almost like they couldn't arrive without your help, that kind of thing. But you get, you know, minus truck damage, minus fuel consumption. Those are just the mechanics. Then we have people working in logistics, so you got a larger binocular range or additional fuel or efficiency. Hydrologists who then can help out as well, like crossing in fjords and whatnot and marking those areas. Jaegers, which are great at doing things like kind of finding the way, marking the path. Kind of reminds me a little bit of mechanics too, because they kind of help a little bit more with the off-road with the winches and such. And then also operators. They have their own bonus thing too, so they can mark airdrops, which we can go out and find in the field as well. Airdrops, I know. And then we have 2 managers. We have David and then Samara, who we're not, she's not here yet, I guess. But yeah, you can evacuate for free, kind of like a return to garage hardcore mode. And this is new to this game, so we can hire 3 people, so we can take like a mechanic, a Jaeger, and an operator and get different bonuses or modify the game a little bit, which I think is kind of cool. Or you could choose not to do them, which is fine as well. But again, we have to pay for these folks, and we got a bunch of cash, so let's go ahead and see if we can hire anybody. We can only hire anybody where we've completed a mission, so let's just do a quick check to see. And it looks like it's something for later in the game. Looks like only David is hireable for now, so he'll give us 50% more selling price on any sort of treasure that we find. So Gus Fring is hired. Congratulations, Gus. All right, cool. So there we go. So 4 vehicles that we can bring, at least for this mission. That might change, I'm not sure. And then 3 managers, which might happen to change, I'm not sure. Let's jump in then. All right. So this appears to be the same garage that we were just at moments ago. So we were in Little Colorado. We saw that little helipad there and our garage itself. So let's go ahead and start exploring. This is the base area that we see from the beginning. We barely explored anything. We kind of went up to this little lake that's over here in the back. So the maps could be quite large, although this is kind of maybe a little tutorial area. And there could be multiple maps too. I'm not sure how the tunnel system works yet, but we will find those out. Otherwise, if you know, let me know down below. Love the load screens. I think the music is great. One of the things that I absolutely love about SnowRunner is the music for each of the new DLCs. I get so excited for that. Alright, now, how do we switch between vehicles? Let's go to our map screen, maybe. Oh, yeah. Alright, so we can easily switch between vehicles by going here. And then, I think we can just do it that way. Yeah, we can just switch to the Scout or over on the left side if we want to, and we can take that vehicle. But obviously, we need to get to the crossroads here, and then probably head west and do something with that radio mast or radar, whatever they said. So, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, make sure we've got all of our equipment. Looks like we do have that jack that they wanted us to bring. Let's go. So again, we should be putting on different types of tires. We should be upgrading our engine. We should be investing all the money that we had to do more. But I want to make things hard on myself to see how the base game is, which might give us an idea of how powerful some of those later games are. In Expeditions, you'll need to navigate terrain. Use the mini-map for this, of course. So we'll open that mini-map. And we did before. We know where we're going. We gotta go up that way. Oh, and look at that. Can we actually repair our vehicle over here? Looks like there might be a way to do that. Trucks nearby trade. Oh, for over there. This might be a way we can actually get some repairs. We'll have to see if that's something we can interact with right behind us. Okay, we know where we're going though. We saw the map. We know the route. We know the way. We're building these roads. Oh, look at this. We can go out on the helipad if we want to. Let's see if we can smash through a fence and take damage or not, or if it's just kind of cosmetic. Yeah, still kind of just cosmetic. So no damage for plowing through any sort of fence or whatnot. Just wanted to see if that would be something to worry about. But no, indeed it is not. All right, we're going to have to switch to all-wheel drive. It looks like we got to go out here. Use the echo sounder to determine the depth of water bodies that you're about to cross. Really? Devices. Ah, here we go. So we have ourselves the winch, the binoculars, the drone, and the echo sounder. And there we go. Now we can see where the water is a little deeper. So we want to avoid that left side and go to our right a little bit. Head right for the island. So a little bit more planning for water crossings, which is kind of nice. We don't have to worry so much about water currents as we do depth a little bit more. All right. Let's go ahead and trade. We're picking up that radio mast then. Radio station there. Let's go ahead and do that. Radio communication is set of equipment necessary to carry on communication via radio waves. Negative waves, man. Negative waves. Does anyone know that one? That must be the only one. All right, find a suitable location and launch the drone. All right, now we're going to the drone zone. Visit the top of the mountain with a drone. Explore the nearby mountain using the drone. All right, let's do it. Explore a hard-to-reach place with the bird's eye view. Now, this is great. I really feel like SnowRunner needs this and/or a mod for it that might exist, but the cool thing about this is we can, well, see ourselves and see around us, but in multiplayer, if somebody's stuck or whatnot, you can actually see it in real time. You can fly over to where they're crashed or whatever and kind of watch them try to get out of the mess while you're kind of waiting for some other cargo or something like that. But anyway, let's go ahead and check out the top of the mountain. That's where we're going. So we got to get up that way. Wow, look at this terrain, though. Well, I see some possible river rapids over there. Not seeing a lot of trees, but just a lot of desert and a lot of rocks to climb. So if you want to be a rock climber, this is the one to do it in. Okay, now what I'm hoping, too, is that this is going to be really easy to return back. Oh, yeah, there we go. Bad signal. So what happens if we go too far? We can't. We can only go about 87, I'm assuming, feet away, as we're in Imperial, but how do we return? Ah, okay, so you can just snap back to it. Excellent. No need to actually have to land it or whatnot. Also, if you notice, the cargo in the back of the truck is now wrapped under a tarp. Before, we just kind of had that tarp rolled up against the back of the truck there. But now, that equipment has been wrapped up nice and strapped down, too. So we didn't have to worry about strapping down cargo or really wrapping it up or anything. Looks like we're about to hit some pretty steep rocks here. Stage complete. Use the winch to get your vehicle out of trouble. Attach it to natural elements or put your own anchors down. Yeah, of course. Trees are common and useful. Be careful, they can break. Press Y to attach the winch. Oh, a down tree we can utilize. Very nice. So if we want to, looks like we can push too. Oh, we can loosen the winch as well. That's kind of nice. So if we need a little more running start, we can actually finally let out some slack, which is nice. Or tighten it up before we cross. Let's go ahead and just kind of come up here. I really don't think we need the winch for this, but we'll play dumb. Oh, I hope I can get over this rock. Oh, it's so tough. Oh, how are we gonna do it? Oh, there we go. Sweet. Then we can release the winch too. I like that. Being able to release it gives us a lot more power too, to be able to just quickly back up. You can also find the winch in the devices menu. Indeed, we can. Thank you. All right, let's continue up the mountain. So some of the controls are a little different than SnowRunner. My mind is immediately hitting buttons I normally would in SnowRunner, but they've changed them around a little bit. But I think things are fully customizable, so no need to worry there. There's also a whole day-night cycle that we can also skip, and I don't know if we can actually turn it off. But one of my arguments is I'd love to just keep it at the same time of day no matter what, because it's so pretty in a lot of these games. All right, object delivery. Sometimes in the expedition you'll have to complete a quest, item delivery, or complete structure construction. Absolutely. And there's our radar. We just dropped it off. Cool. Go look around using the binoculars. I guess we'll go up here to look around. There we go. Explore the area. Binoculars are a great way to explore the map and find useful places and pass for the vehicle to pass. Open the mini-map. Look at the marked area on the map and scout it. Okay, so they want us to go over Meow. Gotcha. And we'll look at that with the... They want us to go there. We can look at that with the binoculars, I think. There we go. So they want us going over there. Can we zoom in a little bit more? We sure can. So we're at 72% explored of that area. I guess we'll have to get the rest of the way. Oh, wait, it said 73 now. 84. 98. Done. Look around with the drone. Oh, now we got to pull ahead and do that, huh? Sorry, cacti. Time to die. Back to the drone. Use a drone, you can discover unexplored parts of the map. Open the mini-map. Use the drone to fly around the marked areas. Okay. We've discovered a few points here. These are kind of our tutorial checkpoints, so these are nothing too special. But they might want us to go over there. Although I feel like this yellow area is about as far as we're going to be able to go with that drone, based on previous experience. Let's go ahead and deploy that drone. Fly around to the point of interest. Oh, look at that. You've discovered a new airdrop. Ah. So we can go down there and get refueled or repair parts or something like that. Very nice. Keep exploring a little bit. We're at 96%. You can see the sun going down a little bit as well. Like how we can just abandon the drone and not have to fly it back, saving us time. Recover to the base and park the truck. At any time during the expedition, you can recover to the field base. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Open the mini-map and recover to the base. Is that it there? That other truck's in the way. Recover to the base and park the truck. Delete last waypoint, add destination point. Good, good. Oh, we have contracts here on the left side. And that'll probably lead to tasks, yep, and then objects too. So we can snap to objects like vehicles. What about our specialists? David's at the HQ there. Outposts and gates. Ah, we can do it that way. Recover. Perfect! Alright, so that was easy. Park the truck. Okay, all parked then. I guess we have to turn the engine off. Ah, nice and quiet. Pretty. Oh, they want us to park over there now. I got you. Alright. Well, that was cool. Take less than 200 damage. Ah, secret bonus missions too. And we've unlocked an Eastern European outpost. Very nice. Or, well, Eastern from where we are. I was thinking the Carpathians, but that's where I want to go. Check out those types of maps. Hey, we've only taken 1 damage. Just at least only 1. Now, I would have used that other vehicle, of course, but we had to go to, you know, that area with the flatbed. Apparently, there's no possible way that radar in that small box could have fit in the back of that truck. Well, Little Colorado, 1 of 5 expeditions. So it's small, but there's lots of stuff here. So we have Stone Ford, Heavy Shipping, Earthy Vibes. These are all different missions, but in the same maps. So we're doing almost like a more specific mission where the map may be different based on what we're doing. But that's only 5 for this one. It looks like Arizona has a whopping 37, and the Carpathians has a whopping 37 as well, with mods being able to be installed and pretty much presented on the same regional selection, which is cool. It's not hidden or seems like a back-end thing or whatnot. Now, a lot of you may be asking, will this be on Steam? Indeed, it will. It'll also be on the Epic Game Store, too, and probably on consoles. So, as always, use code Raptoria at checkout if and when you want to get this one in the Epic Game Store to support the channel, if you would so choose. Wow, look at this. We have the Grand Canyon to mess around with. That's pretty cool. Free roam, but we can also go to Unexpected Finds and Breaking Brad. Bradford's here? Yeah, so it looks like this is how we're going to unlock maybe other specialists by completing some of those other missions. So we have just some that deal with the Grand Canyon, some that deal with a... Oh, okay. So it's the state of Arizona, but we have the Grand Canyon. We have the Sonoran Desert. We also have 2 other locations to go to, which feature, looks like water and possibly more desert. So rivers, deserts, large lake here. That's pretty cool, actually. And then with the Carpathians, we also have the free roam option here, too. This will be a little less deserty and a little bit more like the traditional MudRunner. Hence, you know, the whole MudRunner game experience. So, Slip Rock Swamps, free roam for that one. We have also Unshakable Island. Wow. That looks very traditional right there. Lots of rivers and a big old island in the middle. We have Mountain Labyrinths, which kind of looks the same. just probably more steep mountains and thinner rivers, which might be deeper and more aggressive. And then also a dormant volcano that we get to go to as well. Very interesting. So lots of missions here for sure, and also free roam mode for each of these. However, it seems like we need to get these 5 complete before we unlock anything from the other map, like for example for Arizona. So yeah, eventually we can do the free roam, but in order to get unexpected find, we have to unlock the metal detector. It's a requirement for that one. So as it says, we also need to complete Breaking Brad, which then says complete in order to preserve. So that means we have to go down here. We have to follow all these tracks or whatnot. It says Fallen from Heaven, then it says Squatter's Ridge. Ah, here we are. Conquest of the Frontier. We can actually go to one of them. I didn't even realize one was highlighted. It looked like they were all locked to me. And for Carpathians, we could do a prologue as well, or maybe any of these other maps too. Maybe each and every one of them has one we can go to. No. But I am curious to see. The desert looks beautiful, right? So let's go to the Carpathians and see what that looks like. So Carpathians it is. And let's go to prologue. Now, I'm not seeing a lot of U.S. vehicles here. I believe a lot of these, in fact, maybe all of these are Russian, except for perhaps maybe one of them. But it does look like they all are from Russia. So I'd like to see more. Well, I mean, if we're going to have America and Russia, of course, more American vehicles too. Hence, it just makes sense to be driving something like a Ford or whatever off-road, a Caterpillar, for example, in the U.S. Let's take this vehicle again. This seems to be a well all-arounder. And what was our mission again? Is there anything we need to do here? We dropped some important equipment nearby. Never mind what dropped. Oh, they're being very suspicious. It should take you down all 20 minutes if you hustle. Is this a timed mission? Interesting. Maybe, maybe not. All right. Well, let's go ahead and customize our vehicle then finally and spend some of our hard-earned points then. Looks like we have resources. Oh, miscellaneous emergency reserve. Wow, it sounds like a survival game. Oh, an emergency supply of fuel. Oh, that's interesting. So even though this is under what looked to be old-time cosmetics, it's now something different. Oh, yes, so this is where we'll also be able to modify the bed. So we get the small kung, we get the living module, radar. Unfortunately, it doesn't really show us differences here unless they're unlocked. That's a shame, I think. Or maybe they're not modeled. But some of these have requirements, like complete keeping an eye on the animals to unlock. So there's a lot of pathing that we have to follow, which is a little obnoxious to me, but I guess that's what they're trying to do here. Rims, I don't really care too much about. Let's go with the reinforced bumper there. That actually looked pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty sweet right there. Let's buy that. Hey, and we got a Steam achievement. Cool. Install your first car upgrade. Thank you very much. Let's go with that, and let's go with the roof rack. We got plenty of money to spend. Let's go with the, maybe the emergency. Oh, wait, bolt-on fenders. There we go. Little check mark means it's already installed. Was there anything else? Now we'll go with that. Color, we can change it now. Maybe we'll go with my traditional. Oh, I like how they paint the truck bed, too. That actually gets painted. Let's go with my classic and favorite safety orange. Let's go with that. And then let's keep popping in a few other things. So let's go to the engine now. Let's upgrade that if we can. Looks like we can only go with one. Some of these other ones have to be unlocked, or we have to do some questing to find them. We'll go with the UADs too, I think. Actually, there's the off-road tires as well. We have all-terrains, but I think we should definitely do the off-roads. Go with those. Winch, we can buy the extendo. Differential lock is on, and we can buy the low-mount snorkel. Low or the high. Looks like we can only do the low for now. Pretty good. And then what was the exteriors that we can get? No stickers can be unlocked at the moment. Looks like they all are like required to do something. So most of the vehicles are customizable about this much. So you probably won't see too much more that's customizable. Looks like these two are required. The anchors and the jack again. So let's bring those. And we could bring another vehicle. I suppose we'll throw maybe the Dawn in there. We'll just bring them in stock. Bring in the Step. And let's bring in the... We'll bring in the Cotco Canyon. Cool. Alright, so it looks like we now can bring a team. Looks like we need to bring somebody who is into logistics. So Connor Erickson can come along. Our outpost will have... Oh, that's the bonus. We can return to our outpost with a bonus of 26 gallons of fuel, and 200 repair parts. So if we need to refuel, we can come back there. So fuel's rather limited. So this is all about strategic planning and logistics. So this is, again, more like a survival game, because it's like if you run out of fuel, that's it. GG. It's like you're dead, basically. It reminds me a bit of Death Stranding and whatnot, too. Not your traditional survival game, of course, with the having to cook food and seek shelter, although you probably would have food and shelter in your truck if something went wrong, but it doesn't really feature that too much. Okay, let's go ahead and deploy. And there's our map of the Carpathians. Beautiful. Let's go. Oh, and a beautiful looking map. Wonderful. I'm glad that they went with the traditional forested region, but also the deserts at the same time, too. I think those are two very big favorites. Oh, yeah. And now we see the classic, all the vehicles stacked on top of each other. Very nice. Look at that bad boy. Oh, boy. She's a little stuck, but that's all right. Let's try to get this vehicle over to the side. Oh, she's nice and powerful, though. Wow. All right, let's trade vehicles nearby. How do we do that? Let's go to that one. Beautiful. Perfect. Now, what vehicle has the equipment on board? Okay, this one does, yep. So we can install that ahead of time, or I'm assuming we might be able to go to the garage and get it ourselves. But regardless, let's get rolling. So going back to the map, by the way, we can skip time in the lower right corner. You see where we can, yeah, left to skip time. I don't know what exactly that means, but we can go into nighttime. I don't. Is there a day-night cycle anywhere? I don't see what time it could be. Well, if we use mouse and keyboard, though, no, it's the same deal. So I don't know. I guess we made it like noon or something like that. Not sure exactly how the time works. They should put a clock up there. But honestly, in my opinion, I think it's something that should be completely controllable. You should be able to make it permanently day, permanently night, or slow or increase it or make it real time, whatever you want to do. In my opinion, that's the way it should be. Essential storage. What is that? Oh, can we build this? Oh, look at that. So we've now built a storage for the base that gives us a little extra fuel and repair parts at the expense of money. That's cool. I hope that is something that's permanent then through the other expeditions. Although I feel like this all could have simply just been one map with mini missions around it. But I guess the setup of the expeditions makes it a little bit more clean. You can choose the vehicles from the start and then they'll spawn, rather than having to bring each and every vehicle back and then put them into a storage and then find new vehicles or customize them. You can kind of just do it already from the beginning. Let's get to the viewpoint then. Nice. Now this is our traditional mud, our traditional sand, muck, grime. I love it. Let's see how we go through a tree. Let's see if we can ram these over. Oh yeah, we can. Hell yeah, just like in SnowRunner. Good stuff. So it certainly feels the same. They didn't make the trucks overly weak. They do feel a lot smaller, but that makes them a little bit more nimble to get up some of these inclines and stuff. Ooh, we better be careful here. We're going to have a bad time. There we go. So we can make our own roads. We don't need to worry about sticking onto the already pre-existing. We can make our own as we explore. Again, great music, great sound effects. Everything's real nice. I like it. Looks like we need to head there, but we need to verify the heading first. Use the binoculars to look around. I mean, I can see right now, but okay. I guess they're going for a little more immersion. I wonder how you do this with a with VR. I suppose the drone would be... I guess there's ways to do it, right? I think it could be done. Cross the dry shoal. That's it right there. I guess we didn't really need to use the binoculars, but I got you. They're just trying to teach us a little bit. Yeah, I love going over those rocks like that. I want to see what the suspension does, how it affects the vehicle. This certainly feels like a much lighter truck, but more capable than some of the other vehicles in terms of being a big O cargo hauler and also scout at the same time. And this is like the perfect combo of scout and hauler. It's almost like the Unimog and whatnot. All right, driving up a mountain always has a high risk of overturning. Lower the tires. Oh, really? Oh, they want us to go up there? Oh, baby. All right, then. Let's climb up the mountain. Let's see if we can do it. Let's make our first attempt. Oh, I bet you I'm not going to make it. There's probably no way I can make it up there. Well, let's do what they say can't be done, shall we? Let's go throw it into low. Let's throw down that tire pressure. Let's see if we can rock crawl, baby. And imagine the mods, all the vehicles people can put in. A vehicle you use IRL to rock crawl could definitely do it in this game too. Or a dream vehicle. They want us to also use the winch. This is great! I wish SnowRunner had a little bit more of this, but it's so bouncy all the time. But you can kind of do this, but this feels a little bit more dangerous. Like, oh dude, how did you do that? Very cool. Alright, very nice. And we made it pretty much without any trouble. And look at that. I can see not my house from here. Very nice. Alright, let's increase that tire pressure again. And we'll go back to auto and just kind of zoom a little bit. Look at that. You've discovered a new airdrop. Let's trade. Oh, look at all that. Scrap metal, supplies. I guess we'll get everything. And explore the area. I wonder if we could use our drone. Looks like they might want us to go back there. We could have explored that a little bit when we passed by it. But there we are on that hill. That's beautiful. Pretty. Very nice. All right, let's roll. Well, not roll over, but, you know. Should probably be careful how I use. Very, very poor choice of words from me. I should be more careful. All right. I don't even dare try first person, but for those of you who want first person, I'll do this again. This is for you. This is where it goes down. Oh, the interior of the vehicle's all orange too. Now hold on a second. Before we go down there, let's do what we did before. Let's just lower that pressure. Let's go low and slow and see if we can go. Feels like a roller coaster. I also don't want to go over a rock and like bend an axle or a rim or anything like that. Tires are capable of taking it though. Hey, look at that. And again, remember you can turn off the hands if you find that to be unsightly or distracting or just weird. You can turn those right off. Beautiful. I can't believe we made it. Both tries. I got to give myself credit for that one. All right, so we're heading over to this location, I think. Yeah, we got to explore that area, so we could send over... Oh, we don't even have to go over there. We could just get close with the drone and then do that. Okay, so let's go normal pressure. Throw her back into auto, 1 of 4. Cool. First gear. Second now. And back the way we came. Now, again, because this is not going to have co-op at launch, I think it'll be nice, again, to explore kind of on our own. Spin Tires was that way. I can remember MudRunner being that way for me as well, at least at the start, till other friends joining me, finding out it was quite an enjoyable game. And it's good to see yet another MudRunner again, but with a new, kind of a new icing on the cake. And I like that. And I hope to see SnowRunner get some sort of a mod as well, like a kind of a spin-off game a little bit that feels like a heavily modded game to support the development of even more games such as this. It's a really unique experience, both SnowRunner and MudRunner and everything else. So let's go ahead and stop here. Let's fire up our old drone and see if we can look around. So I guess this is all we do for exploring the area, huh? We just kind of make sure we're in a zone and kind of just pan the camera. So long as we're within a circle, we just need to... I guess this is surveying, but it would be nice if this circle, when we were in the drone mode, was somehow visible on the map, so that way we could kind of see what we were missing. Otherwise, it's kind of we're kind of just flying around, and I know we're exploring, but I don't know exactly what we're looking for. We're basically just looking at a bunch of trees, right? And I guess we're trying to find if there's a way through, brother. But obviously not, because there's just a huge forest in front of us. But the trees look great. Actually nice that they modeled everything in so we can get a nice big old look at it. And I wonder, can we fly in through the trees and not get caught? Okay, yeah. So it won't let us destroy the drone or anything like that. Okay, let's go for the binoculars. See if that helps us to explore anything else. Let's check the map. So we're right here in the thick of it, so I honestly don't know exactly what we may have missed. So this part could be a little more clear, because to do this every time might get a little tedious for some, including myself. We're at 98% now, so finding the last morsel of territory that we haven't explored is a little confusing. We can't go into the map mode with the drone either, so I'm not sure what we need to do to get the rest of it, but somehow we did it. Deliver the cargo back to the base. Supplies 0 out of 1. Do we have that on board? We did pick up supplies, but I don't see it on the roof rack, and I don't see it in the back of the truck. But if we look at the inventory, we have scrap metal supplies 1 of 1. But it didn't really show in the back of the truck, which is kind of weird. I'd like to see at least a box of some sort, even if it were just a toolbox or something. Nitpicky, but I feel like if we're hauling cargo, it should certainly somehow affect the vehicle. However, this does show that we could go out with some of the smaller scouts, like the, what was it called, the Kotko? We could go out with that and then put that cargo in the back of that truck and have some cargo room, because it's like an SUV essentially, and be able to pull that no problem. We don't necessarily need this vehicle, but you know, it's as good as one as any to haul, and you never know what you'll be met with next for a challenge. Alright, more building modules here. This is where we can build the essential storage. I think we did that before. Over on the other side, we're just going to build more of it if we want to. And there you go. Hell yeah! And that's the expedition, huh? Take less than 200 damage. Yep. We certainly didn't roll it or anything like that. Apex Europe. That's our sponsor payment. So they sponsored us to go do this expedition. Go look around and scout, I guess. We can continue, or we can go back to headquarters. Although I don't know what continuing would do for us. But yeah. So very short time that we spent, distance, and used fuel. I guess it's all about efficiency and route planning. More than ever before. I like it. Alright guys, well, let's go back to the main menu and talk a little bit about Expeditions, a MudRunner game. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I don't see a price at the moment, but I certainly welcome another chapter in Spin Tire / MudRunner / SnowRunner, and I was expecting to see something else in the future. I was expecting to see like a desert runner or rock runner, and that's kind of what this is in a way. Now, the kind of the folks around this, Focus Entertainment, I think Saber Interactive are both working, I could be wrong about this, but I know Focus is working on a new game called, I think it's Toxic Commando or Commandos, which is a zombie game with off-road driving as well. It's like, you know, you're like a military unit driving around in Humvees and whatnot, and towing vehicles and helping each other out while you're also shooting zombies. A little bit of like Back 4 Blood or Left 4 Dead, but also SnowRunner mixed in. So, guys, this year has been an amazing year for driving games already. Expeditions, a MudRunner game, we got some new SnowRunner DLCs, we got Pacific Drive, and then we've got the hopefully the Toxic Commando coming out soon, and then also like Star Trucker and many other games that are around the corner. So this year is a great year for gaming already, and a great year for, you know, new games to come. And if this is one that really interests you, you can always add it to your wish list, and then of course get it when it comes out, or wait a little while for a sale. Remember, if you add a game to your wish list on Steam, it certainly helps out the devs, and there's a lot of great people who play SnowRunner and give the devs an incredible amount of feedback on making those DLCs in that game better, so it also can make Expeditions better. So my hat off completely to everybody who's made mods and who's helpful to the developers and provides good feedback, and everybody else who creates content for MudRunner and SnowRunner and Spin Tires and whatnot, even years later. All right. Well, let me know what you think about the game down below. What do you want to see from this game? Obviously, no multiplayer at the start, but eventually soon. Will you get it day one? Will you wait? Is this something that just doesn't interest you? Is it cool? Are you waiting for mods? Or do you prefer just playing good old SnowRunner? Or are these games just meh kind of to you? Or do you want something more survivally? Well, that might be where Toxic Commando comes in. Regardless, Expedition's a MudRunner game out on March 5th. We're taking an early look at it. Courtesy of the devs, so thanks to them for sending over a key. This isn't sponsored or anything, but I will be playing a hell of a lot more of this one, and this is the type of game that 100% I would be buying at launch, and hope to buy for my friends when eventually that co-op comes out. Can't wait for it. All right, everybody, take care. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.